Should we give it a 3, 2, 1 and say which one we think it is?
We should do, but let's build some tension because people might not be sure. Could be close. We're risking it by both shouting it out at the same time because, So, TNC, Cook With Us, IKEA Meatball Remake. The first of what we thought was going to be a series, but potentially might not be. Was it a pass? Was it a foul?
3, 2, 1. Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, I'm T and
I'm Charlie.
C. In today's video we are going to be cooking.
Something that we've always done and we've always enjoyed is cooking together. So we want to bring that to our channel and we want to try a few new recipes. And today we've got
IKEA Swedish meatballs,
which you can see T's very happy about because it's one of your favourite things, isn't it? It's got to be your favourite thing about
It's
IKEA.
my favourite thing about IKEA. The candles and the meatballs.
That says a lot because you do like IKEA because you like all the organisational stuff.
Yeah, organisation stuff. So we thought we'd give it a go. There have been a few times I've asked Charlie to go to IKEA and every single time I get the meatballs.
We've been saying for a while that we will try to recreate them.
Yeah.
As always, we'll include the recipe in the description down below. Take a look if you want to try and replicate it. By no means, we definitely aren't professional cooks. So stick with us, see how it comes out. This is very much just giving it a go and seeing what happens. So you should stick around because it could be quite funny at the end. Let's get started. So what do we have?
So if we go from my side to Charlie's side and he can take over from somewhere in the middle. We've got some olive oil, we've got pork mince, which I didn't know about. We've got beef mince.
That's because that's how you make Swedish meatballs. Apparently that is why they're so delicious. Because it's two types of mince.
Well, we've got pork mince and beef mince. We've got some seasoning, so we've got ground sweet cinnamon, we've got ground nutmeg, and we've got ground allspice. We've got salt, we've got black pepper, we've got some bread, some white toasty bread. We've got dairy-free butter.
This is a dairy-free version.
This is a dairy-free
We haven't mentioned
version,
this.
yeah.
For those of you that aren't new to the channel, you'll know that we pretty much always cook with dairy-free ingredients.
Yeah.
So that's what we're going to do. I don't know if it's going to mess up the recipe.
Yeah, so
but
we'll see. We've got some beef stock cubes. Charlie went shopping and didn't read, so we've got 25% less fat.
No,
Salt.
no. Check the recipe, you will see it says beef stock and it actually says 25% less salt. So I actually followed the recipe for once. Normally T tells me off because whenever I go to the shops I do look for the lighter versions of things, but the recipe actually told us to. We have onion. This is why T takes charge. We have dairy-free cream. We have Maris Piper potatoes. We have oat milk, again for our mash. We have flour, organic, look at us. And we have eggs.
Must have been desperate.
M&S must have been the only place open.
missed one.
And yes, of course,
The star ingredient.
The star ingredient, yes. We have, I'm going to try and pronounce this right. We have lingonberry jam, which we got from Amazon because we didn't pick it up last time we went to IKEA, so we went and paid extortionate amounts for the same thing from Amazon. So, recommendation, anyone that plans to make IKEA meatballs, if you're in IKEA, pick up some lingonberry jam.
Or pick up the frozen IKEA meatballs.
Yeah, or depending on how this video goes, we'll come back at the end and recommend you just to go to IKEA and get the meatballs. But there you go, that's everything we're cooking. So we're going to give it a go. Before we start, this is probably going to become a series for us because as mentioned, this is something we used to do a lot and we wanted to bring to the channel. So any recipes you want to see us try to attempt, no matter how hard it is, to be honest, the harder the funnier, the way I see it. If you want to see us butcher some recipes, then yes, put your suggestions in the comments and we will do our best to give them a go.
Okay, without further ado, we'll see you in the kitchen.
So we're back. Turns out I know the recipe, T doesn't. So this is going to be very interesting. Let's take a deep breath. Let's hope for the best. what makes a good Swedish meatball? Pork mince, beef mince, mixed together. You need 300 grams of both. You need 2 slices of toasty bread.
Chopped into cubes.
Crusts cut off, chopped into cube. Onion, grated. Mixed in.
In case I didn't know the motion of grating. I'm going to give this a rinse because we haven't grated anything in this apartment.
I didn't even know where the grater was. We were quite fortunate we found it. T doesn't even know the recipe, but she's still getting all the best jobs. She's left me with a potato.
Grating the onion. If you want onion in your fingertips,
You say grating the onion, try and convince people you're not got an important job. You're making the meatballs. I'm doing the potato.
I'm making meatballs with
This recipe.
What is this? We're going to use some gloves.
I'm not even going to explain that. If you know T, then you already know too well. And if you don't know, then...
Get to know.
If you don't know, you will soon get to know because T's always cooking with gloves, aren't you?
Only when it comes to...
Is that a normal thing?
Oh, let me turn that light. Only when it comes to meat, yeah. Chicken and meat, I will not touch it with my hands. I will not. Oh.
Anyway, as we were saying...
Chopping boards.
Something...
Oh wait, that's not...
She does live it. Honestly, she does live it. It just clearly doesn't cook. She walks around on camera like she knows she's the boss of the kitchen. She doesn't even know where the chopping boards are. She doesn't know where anything else is. Do you want me to show you where the dishwasher is?
Oh.
Anyway, as I was saying, apparently, I want to kind of like make my job sound more important than it is, but apparently this whole IKEA meatball dish all falls down to how good the mashed potato is. So, you know, I've been given the important job. If anyone needs me,
Stop.
if anyone needs me, I'll be making potatoes.
Are those breadcrumbs small enough?
Yeah, they're good to me. T doesn't even know the recipe, but she's just taken over. So what are we doing? We're chopping...
Bread.
If you can't tell, we're chopping bread.
I think I cut this one better than the last one.
Dicing the bread, we're grating onion on top of it and leaving it in the bowl. Apparently the onion juice will soak into the bread and make it nice and soft. And this is the trick
You sound like
to a good IKEA meatball.
You sound like you know what you're doing, but all you did was read the instructions.
As always, the sound people are loving that you've got gloves on.
I don't know if this is working.
I feel like you should have done it the other way around. You've used the side to the edge. Like it would have been a more smoother grade.
No, that's actually killing my eyes.
Just gonna cry.
Can't do this.
Do you want to step in? Got this. Moment to shine. Substituted in.
See how long you last. You're getting it literally all over the surface. Can you keep it in one place?
Almost got my finger. There you go, that looks like enough.
I'm literally crying. Oh my gosh.
I'm about to cry too. I actually am. Oh, that joke wasn't good. Oh. So, step 1 of IKEA meatballs is done. That, if you can't tell, is the bread diced up. T's done a lovely job, along with some grated onion. Apparently we just leave that there to soak and it's going to soften up nicely, and that's the secret to a good IKEA meatball. How you doing?
Cried enough.
You look like a bit like some sort of upset ninja.
Go away.
Well, a lot of chefs wear these kind of hats. You look like you could be part of, what is it, Gordon Ramsay? What do you do? Do Hell's Kitchen, don't they wear coloured bandanas?
I am in Hell's Kitchen with these onions. Up close and personal. So we are working with a bowl of onions. I mean, a bowl of, what's this called?
Bread. I can understand, it's an unusual kitchen item.
A bowl of bread and onions.
While you guys have been enjoying tea versus onions round 1, I have been chopping potato. Here's our potatoes, almost dropped them on the floor. I've learned from Google, apparently, if we use warm water instead of boiling water, they will cook more evenly. I don't know if this is true, but that's what I'm going to do.
Next up, choose your fighter. Well, we're going to use both.
You really don't want to use both, do you?
No.
We're going for the authentic IKEA meatball experience, you have to.
If you don't like gruesome things, but stop listening. But usually I like to use vinegar to draw out the blood. I'm actually quite hungry, so I'm going to skip that step today. Make my immune system stronger. Okay, so 300 grams of each. And I'm just throwing it into the bowl.
Throwing it in, mixing it all together.
That feels horrendous in my hands.
So, I've got the seasonings prepared for the meatballs. I don't know if you can see, somewhere there. So this is a mixture of nutmeg, allspice, black pepper and salt. I don't know if we said we were using cinnamon when we sat at the table, but if we did,
Yeah, sweet ground cinnamon.
we're definitely not using cinnamon. Cinnamon does not go in this recipe. So
What is that black stuff in it?
that is black pepper.
Stop shaking before the dust goes in our
It's going up
hands.
your nose. Alright, so we're going to add this in. Like a pro. Get back to tea to carry on. And there's nothing too special to it. We're literally just mashing it all together into a paste. Is it a paste? It's probably not a paste, is it? Into a meatbally kind of dough.
Meat bully.
Once you've got that all mixed up, secret weapon. Dun 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 dun. This may look like an ice cream scoop, but no, this is a meatball scoop. Again, a little trick we learned from Google as we were looking up this recipe is to make perfectly even sized meatballs is to use an ice cream scoop to scoop out each meatball. So that's what we're going to give that a go. Don't know how it's going to go, but I've got high hopes. I really thought it was to actually make a nice round meatball, but that's not what it's for. It's for scooping it out so you have the right size and then you roll it yourself. So, I'm gloved up, good to go.
Take it away.
Nice I don't beat it the same way though. This is how you're doing it, mate. But this bread is way too thick. I just see lumps of bread. It almost looks like fat.
I know. When I saw it, I was like, oh, is it supposed to look like that?
I'm just going to apologise to everyone for T's camera skills. She's just going all over the place. If you're feeling a bit seasick right now, it's because T forgets that she holds the camera. Here we go, moment of truth. Oh, this is dangerous.
You know, I've heard that the definition of insanity is doing the same thing twice and expecting different results.
Same thing over and over again, expecting different results. What are you trying to say?
Look at that piece of bread just chilling in the middle of the meatball.
What did we say about perfectly even meatballs every time? Well, you know how to do it properly, yeah. I've ditched the gloves. I'm going for it. We have meatballs. Look at that. They look quite good to me. Don't know how they look on the camera. I don't know how many meatballs are there. I'm guessing 20. We'll double check later. So the plan is, now that we've made our perfect IKEA meatballs, we're going to brown them off in the pan and then start making the sauce. So we'll get cracking on. T's having a quick drink break. Malibu. Or Audi's, Asda's.
That's like the Nutella
Tesco's.
video.
Someone's Malibu. Coconut rum. T's having
babe.
coconut rum. She needs some rum to get her through because she's starting to get hungry again. So, here we go.
You make me sound like an alcoholic.
You tell the camera you're not an alcoholic.
I'm not.
You need to be more convincing. The people don't believe you. Here we go. Meatballs, straight in the pan, browned off, sauce getting started. Once T's had a drink, we'll crack on, so you'll see us in a bit. Tell me when to stop.
It said half.
Well,
I don't know
how many
what.
words. We're going to go with roughly half.
You think you would have done the same thing and put it in the air fryer?
We've done half in the air fryer. We can't use the air fryer. This is a non-air fryer recipe. For people that don't know, we use the air fryer for everything. This is our little cooking baby.
To be fair, it smells really good. I'm just really not sure about those giant chunks of bread.
Yeah, I know.
And the meatballs.
But there's only one person to blame if the bread's not been chopped up fine enough.
You.
And how come?
Because I asked you for the go ahead on whether they look okay.
They're starting to smell good. Does it smell like we're in IKEA yet?
Not yet. Maybe once I've done.
What if I start fat packing over there?
Shake, 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 body right. Move your body right.
So, while T's been cooking meatballs, I've been preparing everything else. Man of many talents. So we have 500 millilitres of beef stock just stocking.
It's almost beef stock. This cube needs to...
It'll be a while before it, does its thing. But it'll get there. We have 40 grams of butter, that's for the sauce as well. We do need to put some cream in with the sauce, and then there's some flour to go in with the sauce. And in a minute we're about to chuck it all in the pan and get going, but also at the same time, look at that concentration. You've got this. Trying to save the stock.
I'm trying to make the stock.
Always coming in, clearing up my mess, aren't you? There we go. The stock is now stocking.
Oh, I don't know whether this 25% less salt has made it less dissolvable. But that's boiling hot water.
So we're about to make the sauce. So the sauce is butter, flour, cream, and this beef stock, all in the pan that we just cooked the meatballs in. And then you start simmering it off, add these meatballs in, they look good. Okay, so T's going to be working on the gravy. I'm going to be working on mashing these bad boys. So here we go. I have fried off, warmed up, melted. I've melted the butter and the cream for the potatoes, so I'm going to chuck that straight in. Finishing the potatoes off with a dash of milk. I think that's a dash. Don't know how that comes across, but that is mash. For anyone that doesn't know what mash is, that is mashed potato. Yay, 30 grams! Whoa!
Okay, so we add this.
Butter,
Flour, and now adding some of the beef stock.
It's starting to turn into that nice brownish sauce that everyone should be familiar with. Yeah, keep adding.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Go, 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 go! Stir, stir, stir! No! Counterclockwise!
It could help, but there is no nice way to put the meatballs into the sauce.
Finally, it's taken some time, but we have the meatballs in the sauce. And now we simmer that for 8 minutes, apparently. Moment of truth. T's going to try my mash. Tension.
This recipe is passed down from generations, Charlie.
It's gone through all the families, all over the Google. All over the Google. Here we go. Once we're done inspecting the spoon, we're going to give it a go. I'm very dramatic with like smelling it and everything. It's just mash. How's it taste?
It's nice.
There's a butt coming.
It just tastes like school mashed potatoes.
I can't believe you've disrespected my mashed potato that way.
It's not your mashed potato. I mean, it's just the recipe, maybe. It's very creative. It lacks a little bit of depth.
Do you know what would be good in it? Some hot sauce.
We're not adding hot sauce. Try it. That does not look like a taster.
It's lumpy.
See, I was just giving it a review based
You
on
are very
that.
polite. You are very polite. Take everything I said back. If I got served this at school, I'd be sending it back.
You'd be sending it back. You would have been eaten.
You say that. If there's any child that's going to send their food back at school, it'd be you.
I actually enjoyed school dinners.
You know full well I'd eat it if you just keep quiet. Oh, it's all good.
Can I have a hot sauce?
Once you get the lumps out, the smash is going to be delicious.
You think?
You know what's holding it back? We've had to use like dairy-free ingredients.
I just don't think it has a strong buttery flavour.
Should I add more butter?
It's not going to melt now.
Butter!
It's not going to melt now.
What do you reckon it would be like if we put peanut butter in this?
Oh yeah, I don't want to try.
This is starting to look good.
Is it?
It's been 8 minutes.
It said 8 to 10, so to be safe, let's do 9. 5 for the cream. I'm gonna taste it.
We're at this tasting stage. We're almost there.
I'm scared too.
Moment of truth. Seeing that face.
Almost.
Almost. Okay, so we're almost done. Just letting it simmer, reduce.
Letting it relax itself.
As you should with every good dish. Let it relax itself before you eat it. The flavours marinate,
It's
mariginate.
burning. Oh no, it's just the peas having a good
Panic
time.
over here. We've got too
Peas
many
are having a
things
good
going on.
time. It's just empty out the water in the peas.
It haven't worked out. I've kind of taken a step back now. I've had enough.
We're gonna dish it out. How they dish it out in IKEA, where they just throw it on the plate.
Time to dish it out. Showtime. I don't know, I think they look really good.
And they're massive teeth.
Massive bits of bread. Ignore the massive bits of bread. I think we messed up on that part.
Yeah. You know what?
Lesson learned. We did say it might not come out perfectly.
I really like that you said we. Really appreciate that.
Well, I shared the blame.
Yeah.
I mean, they're normally not quite as stingy as that with the gravy, but you know.
I just didn't want
We've
to
got to ration it
drown.
because there's not much. Look at that, that looks pretty good. I'm very impressed. Time to add some lingonberry jam and time to tuck in. Here we are, we're done. Didn't do too bad. I
No.
hesitated then because I wasn't too sure, but went pretty well. This looks like IKEA meatballs to me. I don't know if it does on the camera, but I think we've done a pretty good job. I got the extra meatball. I'm going to say IKEA meatballs was a success, but we haven't tried it yet, so I'm not too sure. It looks really good.
Dun, dun, dun.
Time for a lingonberry.
Yeah.
Is it basically cranberry?
No, because it's made from lingonberries. That means to yours as well.
Yeah, go for it.
Where do you want it?
Everywhere. Just chuck it on the mash, bit on the, yeah, right there. Come on, just drop it. A little bit more. Anyway, just chuck it on.
Not quite
I'm
chubby.
about to play a very risky game and T's going to be a bit nervous. I'm going to show you.
Oh Lord.
Look at this.
You're gonna put the whole thing in your mouth, aren't you?
No. What do you think? Be honest.
Let's go to IKEA. I don't know what it is, but the flavours is just lacking a bit of depth.
Mm. That didn't go to plan.
I don't know where we went wrong.
It looked really good. It honestly looked really good. Should we just don't tell anyone? No one else is tasting it. It looks really good. No one else is tasting
A
it.
whole piece of bread there.
Let's just pretend. Wow. Nailed it. Absolutely nailed it, didn't we?
I think my favourite part of the dish is the lingonberry jam, and we didn't make it.
I mean, I'm going to eat it all.
I'm not. I'm gonna have some jam on toast. The lingonberry jam made me fancy toasty bread.
Scrap this video. Hi guys, welcome to our channel. Today, we're making jam on toast.
Have some more lingonberry, I quite like.
I've literally covered mine in lingonberry jam, if you can see. So disappointed.
If we had to give this video a pass or fail, should we give it a 3, 2, 1 and say which one we think
Yeah,
it is?
we should do, but let's build some tension because people might not be sure. Could be close. We're risking it by both shouting it out at the same time because. So, TNC, Cook With Us, IKEA Meatball Remake. The first of what we thought was going to be a series, but potentially might not be. Was it a pass? Was it a foul?
3, 2, 1, fail.
We did admit we might mess it up.
This plate of food looks good. But each element is disappointing. Combined, it's still disappointing.
I mean, the massive lumps of bread in the meatballs is not. It's definitely not a winner.
Inspiring.
And I think we just under-seasoned the meatballs. I genuinely just think we under-seasoned the meatballs. Which unfortunately,
Seasoned the meatballs.
I was going to say, unfortunately, was me. I'll take the blame on that one. The mash was incredible, by the way. Save that. Best part of the dish.
Are you joking?
Give me one thing. I feel bad for the recipe, but I really don't think it's the recipe's fault. I think it's, mainly. Some of you are going to have to try the recipe. We'll put it in the description. And if someone can just nail it for us and tell us it's amazing, then that would be great. So we're off to IKEA now to get some actual IKEA meatballs because we're devastated. I've almost finished.
And I refuse.
It's not as cheery as normally how our videos end. Anyway, fail aside, as always, had a lot of fun doing the video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed watching the video. If you did enjoy it, please drop in the comments any other recipes you want us to butcher because we all have great fun doing it.
Charlie speaks for himself.
I'm thinking something sweet. I'm thinking like a dessert. So if anyone wants to put dessert in there, then that would be great. Ideally a restaurant, something like well known so that we can actually try and make a copy of it again and fail. No. Next one, whoever gives us the next recipe, something sweet, a dessert, we will do a very good job. We are promising now that we will succeed. It will pass, you will all want to eat it, it will look delicious. Hopefully you guys enjoyed watching the video, even though we didn't get the result that we wanted. If you've got this far then, as always, please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe.
And we'll see you in the next one. Are you actually eating it all? Why?
I need the food. This is lean mince.